Hey guys, back at halftime roomies, and the NBA season has already started. It's been a couple of weeks, but there have been some big moves on the trade market, and the biggest move of all is James Harden has finally gone to Brooklyn Nets. It's a mega deal. Rockets acquired a couple of players, 4 first-round picks, 4 pick swaps. Rockets then traded Chris Levert to the Indiana Pacers for Victor Oladipo. So Rockets now have clearly built a young team, a team for the future. Cavs got Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince in exchange, and this now forms, I don't know, the unholy trinity of James
Right.
Harden, Kyrie Irving, and KD.
Yeah. Well, there were rumors about Harden going to the Nets, and it'll be fascinating to see how the three of them interact with each other on the court, and they're colorful characters.
Yeah.
And so the Nets haven't looked as good in years, and hopefully it works out for them. But yeah, it'll be the games will be fascinating to watch.
The Nets haven't looked this good since they had Jason Kidd back in
Wow, yeah.
the 2000s when they reached the NBA Finals and lost to my team, San Antonio Spurs,
Right.
back in 2003. And yeah, I mean, before we jump into the trinity of those three guys,
Yeah.
DeMarcus Cousins had a lot to say about James Harden, because James Harden said that he had given his all and there was probably nothing else he could do for the Rockets at this point
Right.
to take them any forward. And DeMarcus Cousins said that he clearly has not done that, and that's disrespectful to say about the Rockets organization and the fans in the city. But you know what? Personally, I feel that Harden did give his all. 8 seasons, 8 playoff runs, losing twice in the conference finals to a stacked Warriors team.
Right. Averaging how many points a game?
Yeah, his best season was 36 points in the regular season a game. I mean, a guy who gives you 30 points a game every season for the last 8 years, averages almost double-double or triple-double in a season, wins the MVP award as well in the process.
Exactly.
I mean, what is there left to give?
Yeah, I don't think Harden has anything to prove to Rockets fans. I think he gave them his all.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
the Rockets brought in Dwight Howard,
Yeah.
didn't work out. CP3 didn't work out. Russell Westbrook didn't work out.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, who do?
and through all of that, this man was solid.
Yeah,
This man was solid throughout, and so you cannot say that he was the problem with the Rockets. Clearly, there's other things, and I think DeMarcus Cousins is, mistaken.
in this case, he clearly is,
He
because
clearly is. Yeah.
the Rockets have also shown kind of that probably rebuilding for them is not going as smoothly as it could have gone, because they've also lost this season Russell Westbrook
Right.
to
Wizards.
Washington. They've
Yeah.
lost Clint Capella as well this season. And I mean, they do have, I think, PJ Tucker.
Right.
They have Oladipo now. They do have DeMarcus Cousins, but it's still, again, it's a bare bones team compared to what they used to have.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right. And when they lost twice in the conference finals to the Warriors, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like they were slacking in like they lost to the Warriors, the superstar team.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And coming back to the Nets, Harden, Irving, and Durant is. So my question to you is this: this is probably the most exciting threesome of players we've seen since Klay, Steph, and KD at Warriors.
Right. In recent history, yeah.
But this is also the most ill-suited, troublesome group of players that we've seen in I don't even remember how long.
I can't even think of a group of players together who were this problematic off the court. Well, problematic, I say, in a fun sort of way.
Yeah.
Like not controversial.
How do you see this team gelling? How do you see the Nets gelling, especially that all 3 of their guys are 3 of the best dribblers and scorers in the league, but the defense is gone.
Yeah, yeah. You're talking about how we talked about this, earlier. It is, I think, your opinion that the Nets might have gambled a little too much to get this trinity together.
Yes, they also gave away Jared Allen, who was their best rebounder
Right.
In the last couple of seasons. I mean, the defense has gone down the
Right.
drain. Harden is not a defender.
Mhm.
Kyrie Irving, he's good on the ball. He's good defending the perimeter, but again, he's not the guy who will get you blocks and rebounds. And the same can be said about KD. I mean, all three of them are not known for their defense. So unless they're outscoring their opponents every game,
And if Irving can keep his head in the game,
yeah, I mean, he got fined
right?
$50K for violating the league's rules about COVID.
Right.
He's been clubbing and partying. His head is not in the right in the right frame to play. He's been sitting out of the last few games. He's going to sit out again this weekend.
Right.
Is this really a Nets team that can gel, or is this going to explode at some point this season?
I mean, right. It depends on if they can keep it all together, right?
Mhm.
Like I know it's sort of simplistic to say that, but like really, like we'll see. Like hopefully they can keep it all together. Hopefully they can, be professional, for lack of a better term, when they're on the court. And it is, it's being celebrated a lot, specifically
Yeah.
in the New York area.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't. It once I see them all in a game on TV, then we'll see. Like at this point, on paper, yeah. Like considering just their stats, yeah, great.
Yeah.
Sans the defense issue, great.
Raptors
Oh man,
3-8 as of today,
yeah.
13th in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at stats, and I was gonna say they could be the Pistons, but yeah. But yeah, 3-8. Maybe they'll pick up later in the season, but so far, man, not good. Not good for a team that
We're champions two seasons ago.
Yeah.
We're in the conference. We're in the playoffs last season. They lost to, I think, Celtics.
Yeah. And it's got to be embarrassing for Nick Nurse, man. Like, he was like, people really thought like he was gonna, revive the Raptors. And we'll see. It's not like they have necessarily a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they've just had an unfortunate season so far.
Yeah. Again, it is early days, just 11, 12 games in
Yeah.
the season. There's still 70, 60 plus games to play. So there's, probably they'll pick up later on. But losing Kawhi last year, people thought that they'll probably slack off. And they did well. But
Yeah, they
now
did.
they've lost Pau Gasol as well. Marc Gasol.
Marcus All.
And we'll see where the Raptors end up. This just might become another rebuilding phase, and Van Vliet and Siakam and Kyle Lowry, I don't know what it holds for them in the future, but we'll see with the Raptors.
Yeah.
And coming on to some of the early predictions, Eastern Conference champions, Western Conference champions. The Bucks. So I will say this about the Bucks for the East.
Yeah.
This is the best Bucks team they've had since the days of Ray Allen in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Right.
And again, probably since the days of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They've only won one championship in their history, which is very surprising, considering the fact that they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in his prime play for them. They had Ray Allen in his prime play for them. And so where do you see the Bucks landing, especially considering Giannis is a two-time MVP? Again, one of the odds-on favorites to win the MVP this season.
Yeah, I think that they have a great team, and like you said, Giannis is looking solid as usual. And I think in terms of the Eastern Conference, you got the Bucks, and I guess you got the Nets now, and the Celtics to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bucks are, I think, the favorite still, because Nets, with the new team, they got to prove themselves before we can, say anything for certain.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, like I mean, yeah, it will be unsurprising if Bucks become the Eastern Conference champions.
Yeah. Western Conference. Lakers, as usual, running route, leading in the Western Conference already.
Yeah.
Favorites to win the Western Conference. Favorites to win the championship again this year.
Yeah, yeah, Lakers and closely followed by the Clippers. But yeah, I agree. Seems like they might be on their way to. I mean, most likely a Western Conference win.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe another championship for LeBron. Everything that LeBron fans have always wanted from him, they might get. And Anthony Davis as well.
Yep.
Man, what a player.
So, early prediction: who do you think wins the MVP award this year?
Regular season?
Yeah, regular season.
Probably Giannis.
Giannis?
And you said about Doncic as well. His numbers look good too. But yeah. I mean, those two are probably in the running for the most likely wins.
Yeah. And champions. Early predictions for champions this year.
Lakers. I'm just gonna I'm gonna take the safe one.
Yeah.
And say it's probably gonna be the Lakers. But yeah.
Because they're already leading the conference. They are a proven team. They're the defending champions. They added Dennis Schroeder to the team this year.
Right.
Strong-looking team. Again, unless Nets prove themselves and do something different, Lakers are the favorites. Clippers, again, we have Kawhi being Kawhi, does what he does best. But when the playoffs roll around, Paul George becomes Pandemic P and fails in the playoffs.
Right. Sorry, that was funny. The only ones out of you talking about Lakers, Nets, Clippers, Bucks. I think the Lakers are definitely the favorites to do it. I think the only ones that could maybe trip them up if the Bucks win the Eastern Conference Final, maybe the Bucks have a chance against the Lakers, but it is a tall order. I mean, it's a tough. It'll be a tough playoff.
Yeah, I think going with logic and what my brain says. I'd put the safe money on Lakers.
Oh, yeah.
And if the Nets prove themselves, maybe the Nets. But going with what my heart says, I will have to say San Antonio Spurs.
Hey, man, I've been saying the Cleveland Cavaliers for years now. And now we have Jared Allen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's some wishful thinking, but let's see. We'll see.
Go Cavs.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, Cavs and Spurs win their conferences, and that's the final.
Yeah, maybe you have an NFL style.
Yeah.
You
get the Bills and Browns from
exactly.
And maybe they do it, but that's wishful thinking. And
let's get out of our little fantasy world and get back to reality.
Yeah.
And it's probably gonna be the Lakers.
Yeah. Probably the Lakers. Yeah. Probably the Lakers. So, again, good discussion.
Yeah.
Exciting season. The season's just started. There's a lot to play for. Everyone's, all the teams as expected are doing well. The players that were expected to perform well are performing well.
Yeah.
Super bumper deal made for James Harden. Nets maybe traded away a bit too much, but we'll see what that holds.
Right.
What happens in the future.
Right.
So... And we'll do a follow-up to this once the regular season ends as well. So we'll probably be back in a couple of months, in a few months, doing this again.
For sure.
And that wraps it up for us at Halftime Roomies. Do like, share, and subscribe. And stay safe. And we'll see you guys soon. Cheerio.